Now, summer may be approaching and it's getting warmer, but don't let that stop you from considering how much you pay for your gas and electricity. If you haven't switched already, there are some serious savings to be made on your household bills. But Thursday is cut off to secure the best prices for this particular deal.
Now, joining us to discuss Ireland's biggest energy price war is David Kerr of Bonkers.ie and Oliver Tatton of OneBigSwitch.ie. Now, good morning to you both. Morning, David.
Good morning, Mark.
Oliver, I've probably met you more often than some of my members of my family over the last couple of weeks.
Well, so many of your viewers have joined the People Power movement.
Well, I was just going to ask you, right, update us. Where are we right now?
58,000 people have joined up. The offer's been out for a couple of weeks already and it's closing now Thursday night. So People Power does work. We managed to negotiate a really, really good deal, but the energy provider, in this case Bord Gáis, has said we're closing on Thursday night. It's all over then.
Ordinary, just remind people about what the deal actually is that's on offer.
So the deal is 10% off plus €80 cash back. So you could expect to save for an ordinary household standard 3-bedroom, €215, but some of the savings are as high as €300. Charlie Weston wrote a nice piece in the Indo at the weekend. He said if you were sitting in a pub or sitting in a cafe and somebody said to you, for 5 minutes work you could save €300, would you do it? You would. And that's what this is. For 5 minutes work you can save.
Well, 58,000 people look like they will.
Now, there are 4 major energy suppliers. There's Electric Ireland, formerly ESB, Energia, Bord Gáis and Airtricity. What was the range of deals that were offered?
Yeah, we spoke to all of them, and all of them indicated that they wanted to do something with us, but ultimately we have to judge the deepest discount. So we chose the company with the deepest discount on electricity. And that's the one that we went with, ultimately with Bord Gáis.
The Bord Gáis one, the 10%'s been on offer for a little while, but what extra...
plus 80 cash back, plus €80 cash back. So effectively, on a standard bill of about €1,000, it's about 18% discount. So when that was launched, that was the deepest discount in the market, and it was exclusive to our organisation that managed to negotiate it. So People Power does really work, I suppose.
Now, people are entitled to look at your offer and go, that's great, and go and see if they can use that as leverage on their own.
Correct, and a lot of people have done that. So on our forums, we see people saying, thanks very much, I saved X amount with my existing provider, I didn't even need to switch. So get the offer in your hand, have the offer, and then decide whether you want to take it. There's no obligations, never was on it, so you can decide whether you want to take it or use it to negotiate with your existing provider.
Okay, David, I want to bring you in here. That's great. Look, anything that makes a sort of a basic necessity like that cheaper is obviously good.
Yep.
The cynic in me wonders whether this is actually a real price war or is it kind of a phony one.
Well, there was already a price war, in fact, Mark, before any of this One Big Switch campaign that Oliver has brought to the market happened. There was already a price war between all of the energy providers, and in fact in January when Energia launched, they launched with a big campaign as well to attract customers. And customers can get great discounts.
Okay, sorry to cut across you, and I'll let you finish your point, but if there was, then why do I and everybody else, why have we noticed that our ESB bills or our electricity bills mine are averaging 400 plus for the last couple of months, and I'm screaming at the kids going, turn the bloody lights off and switch off the immersion, and I'm thinking that they're being profligate.
Sure.
And they're not, and I'm suddenly going, well, why is this?
Well, the very important point, Mark, to make is that you're probably not on a discount tariff. You're probably on a standard tariff. And even if you switched, this is the most important message, those discounts do expire typically after 12 months. So if you switched more than 12 months ago, you're paying the most expensive electricity and gas that you possibly can.
David, by looking at your bill, can you tell if you're on a standard tariff or a discounted tariff?
There's 2 key ways. The first is it probably says standard on it somewhere. And
Pretty straightforward.
If it doesn't say discount on it somewhere, then you're going to pay the standard rate. But you'll know yourself if you switched more than 12 months ago, you're on a standard rate, and that's why we encourage people to visit Bonkers.ie. We're accredited by the energy regulator, so our sums are checked, and they can find out for free, again with no obligation, if they can save by switching. And it is the case that you can also save without even switching supplier, just opt into their current deal.
Okay, this may seem like a really stupid question, but I'll ask it anyway. How many of us actually know how to read our bills properly?
About 0%.
Well, I didn't know just that.
About nobody looks at the detail of their bill because it's a sea of numbers. They look at the bottom right where they have the bad news. But what they need to do if they want to do a comparison is just look and see, even look at what the unit rate is, even look and see the magic words of discount or standard, or even remember, did I switch 12 months ago or more? The chances are 7 out of 8 of us have switched more than 12 months or have never switched. So that means we're on a standard rate, and the savings that we've estimated are phenomenal across the whole country.
So there may well be a discounted rate that you can simply opt into without
Correct.
having to even switch provider.
Exactly
So you just
right.
need to ring up and say, hey, am I on the discounted rate?
Exactly right.
They'll say, no, do you want to be on it? You say yes.
Exactly that.
And
you
we're
have
missing out on
you
that.
have to opt in, that's the point.
Okay.
The discounts expire, they lapse after a period of time, and they won't give them to you automatically. And why? Because they want all the people paying standard to pay in part for those discounts.
Okay, yeah, and one of the reasons they've been able to do all of this is because effectively they had a monopoly for years and years and years. So they are being dragged reluctantly into kind of the modern marketplace.
Well, what
and I'm assuming the one big switch has made them. Has it made them review how they're dealing with their customers?
What's happened really is technology has really helped. So things like direct debit, things like online billing, managing your account over the internet, not having to post you a bill, these all contribute to discounts. So you'll typically get a very strong discount for paying by direct debit, another discount if you manage your bill online. With the Bord Gáis deal that Oliver has, there's another element called level pay, and that's where you pay the same amount every month, but they add a thing called a tolerance of 20% to that, so that they're not in the black if you overconsume versus last year's consumption.
Okay.
So there is an element that, you know, you're effectively prepaying for some of your energy in the upcoming 12 months, and you'll get it back at
David,
the end
can I
of
ask
the
you,
year.
compared to other European countries, are we paying way above average for our energy?
We're paying a little bit above mid-table in European standards.
Why?
For
Are we simply being overcharged?
the problem is that we import the vast majority of our gas, and we use that imported gas to burn to create electricity, which is a big shame, especially when there's companies in the UK that want to put up wind farms in our country, and that we don't have enough wind farm energy being generated at all. So that's a big issue.
So we are paying more than the rest of Europe, but if people do want to save, they have until Thursday, Oliver, to do just that.
Thursday night, onebig-switch.ie, average savings of €215. It's 5 minutes work. It's so simple. It's
a
such a
no-brainer,
no-brainer.
really, yeah.
You know, we should just do it.
Okay, the next question is that this has worked like gangbusters. So what's next?
Well, our members are saying that they want us to do something else. You know, we started with this, Mark, as an experiment to see would it work.
Can you mention what you have in mind?
Well, you know, in Australia, where, you know, our partners have worked, they've done health insurance. So there's big demand for health insurance. So we may look at that next.
That's a business
mortgages,
you know quite well, isn't it?
Indeed, indeed. And there's big
people are
demand
crying out for it, yeah.
better prices on health insurance. So we might have a look at that next. If we get the support, we'll do it.
Okay, well, look, I mean, look, two things. A, it's available, it'll save you money, and B, you don't know how to read your bill, so go and check out bonkers.ie. I think a lot of people go,
I'm going to go home and read my bill. Look for the word discount, and if it's not there, ring up.
See €500 and scream. Blood pressure.
We just go to
steam coming up on you.
onebig-switch.ie. That's what we should do.
Onebig-switch.ie. 5 minutes work.
Oh, and what's the cut-off time on Thursdays? Midnight
Thursday
Thursday?
night, midnight.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Oliver, thank you so much,
Thank you
David.
so much.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Bonkers.ie.
Let's take the news now. Here's Claire.